Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Salsabila Alviana
and Luthfyya Maghfira H. How are you guys today? I hope all of you are in good condition.
We all know that we are in the world pandemic, and not only us who suffer from this, but also people around the world. One of them is a country of North America called Cuba. Right now, Cubans are currently being forced to live through 60 years of an authoritarian dictatorship. No freedom of speech, no voting right, and the worst thing that they have to face a pandemic and famine. It's happening and it become worse than ever. In that time, Cuban's people been stripped of all freedoms and basic human rights. The Cuban people have been abused by their government.
The laws in Cuba is so bad. They do not allow freedom of expression, assembly, or press. Anything shown on TV was pure government propaganda. The news was always skewed in favor of the government.
Healthcare in Cuba may be free, but that's only because there is no care at all. Since the pandemic began, things in Cuba have been getting worse. The healthcare system and hospital will collapse. With no access and no medicines, a lot of people are left to die.
People in hospital have no rooms to stay in and not offering sufficient healthcare. COVID-19 has spread across the island rapidly. The Cuban Ministry of Health website says the nation of 11 million now has about 32,000 active cases of COVID-19. It reports 6,923 daily cases and 47 deaths on Sunday, breaking its prior record set just Friday. Only about 15% of the population is fully vaccinated. The government said there is not enough PCR tests, oxygen is not available, and ambulances are not reachable.
The Cuban government attributes its long-standing economic problem to the American trade embargo, which cut off its access to financing and imports.
The change in currency to US dollar in 2021, the government opted to officially devalue the Cuban peso and adopt US dollar as the official currency for the country.
$1 is equal to 25 Cuban pesos. This means that those who had nothing before will have even less, as it is nearly impossible to make a livable wage in Cuba. The price in Cuba is so bad right now. Rice normally costs 5 Cuban pesos. As of June, the cost of rice increased by 300 over 20 Cuban pesos. Beans normally cost 10 to 12 Cuban pesos. As of June, the cost increased by 180.3 to about 18 to 23 Cuban pesos. Mango used to cost 5 Cuban pesos. As of June, the cost increased by 200 to about 15 pesos. The average Cuban cannot afford a month's worth of food. The Cuban people have begged for international intervention, and the international organizations have offered help, but the government has denied. Multiple protesters were arrested by police, who used tear gas to break up some demonstration. In Havana, a CCN team witnessed demonstrators being forcibly arrested and thrown into the back of a fence by police officers. There were also violent clashes where protesters turned over a police car and threw rocks at officers.
In turn, authorities blocked social media sites in an apparent effort to stop the flow of information into, out of, and within the trapped nation. In a nationally television address, President Diaz-Canel said U.S. trade sanctions had created economic misery on the communist-run island. And also, in his speech, the island president called for his supporters to fight the protester, and teenager was forced to do military to fight against their own people.
The United States, which has a decades-old history of hostilities with Cuba, has said it stands with Cubans and called on those in government to refrain from violence and listen to its people.
People have to right to speak for their rights and no one can hold them back. The government are really selfish and cruel to their people. Cubans cannot escape the fact that they have to suffer and follow their government needs, but they did not get any feedback. They have to suffer and suffocate under the government policy. The government forget about the human rights that was made from United Nations to make the country itself its safe and peace.
Sharing this is really important, and right now donating can be risky because it could fall into the hands of the government. This is why sharing Cuban voices is the best way to help at this time. Let the world know how Cuba really are so the government cannot hide in their shadow when the spotlight is on them. They deserve a freedom and they deserve to live their life. Let the world know the situation in Cuba right now. If there is no Cuban people, then there is no Cuban country.
Mira, eso es tiro, eso es tiro. Eso es tiro, Iván, entra, Iván, eso es tiro.
That's it for this video. I hope you guys get some insight and willing to share this information to others. The last but not least, goodbye and
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.